But if we could roll back the hand of time, poverty is a robber. Steals our dreams, it steals our aspirations, steals our hopes. Just as poverty can be a robber, wealth can be a robber because it can steal your perspective on reality. It can steal your compassion on others who don't have some of the things that you have. Time is a robber. Poverty is a robber. Wealth is a robber. Sickness is a robber. Has nothing to do with age. If you go to the hospital, there are just as many folks sick in their senior years as they are in the children's ward. Sickness is on all of our trail. This man fell victim to a robber, and here comes a Samaritan. And at the close of that story, Jesus says this, go and do likewise. Now, what's that got to do with you and me? Here's the challenge of the master. As we travel, we are under the attack of robbers, and some have it worse than others. We've got to come to a point as children of God where we are willing to run a risk. See, the priest and the Levite looked at the man, backed up, crossed over. Well, some have argued on behalf of those two religious persons that they saw blood and they were on their way to the temple, and they knew had they come in contact with that blood, they would have become ceremonially unclean and could not have entered the temple and would have gone through several days of a purification process. So since they were on their way in, they didn't take the risk of becoming unclean, so they couldn't perform what they had to do when they got to the temple. Some say that perhaps they saw the man wounded, but since it was such a rough road, they didn't know if it was a setup, that it might have been a scam where somebody pretending to be hurt, and when you go over to try to help them, you get jacked. But the Samaritan took a risk, gave of himself. What's the challenge for us? The challenge for us is this. We've got to come to a point in our lives in which we are willing to see hurting humanity at our doorstep. We can't fix the world. You can't reach that far. A lot of stuff wrong in this world. Long list of things wrong. You can't fix everything that's wrong. But if every soul in here reached out to help another soul get back up, look at the impact we'd have just right here. We got a good little crowd in here right now, about 1,000 people right in here right now. Suppose every soul in here left with a determination, I'm going to do something to help another soul that found themselves beaten and wounded and half dead. And there are people all around you. You don't have to look far. Some in your neighborhood, some in your family, some on your job, some in the circles that you travel in. There are plenty of persons there. There are plenty of young mothers that need somebody to walk along beside them to show them how to raise children. There are plenty of single fathers who are trying to figure out how to do it on their own and need somebody to walk and talk with them and pray with them as they're trying to keep their family. There are plenty of young couples and older couples who are trying to figure out this thing called marriage. Some been married 10 years, some been married 50, but they ain't figured it out yet, and they need somebody to help pray them through. There are people who need your help. And you say, well, I don't have any money to give. You know, a lot of folk need stuff, and not always money. Money can help a lot, but some people need someone to listen without judgment. When we try to help others, it's not our spiritual responsibility to stand over them in judgment and give them a lecture and give them a sermon on why they are down and what they did wrong in their life. They can beat you all day. They know what they did wrong. They know how they got. They don't need you to come and put your feet on their neck and then remind them that they're down in the ditch. They need somebody that's willing to run a risk and say, can I pray with you? Somebody who's willing to witness and say, you know what? You're going through a little struggle, but I don't know all the details. Don't need to know all that. Not my business. But here's what I know. That we have a God that if you turn it over to him, your God and my God can pick you back up and help you back in your life. We've got to move beyond tradition from this angle. Some are locked into a tradition in which I am willing to do church work, but I'm not willing to do the work of the church. That's two different things. Church work. I'm in this auxiliary. I'm in this ministry. I hold this position. I hold that office. I serve here. I do that. I'm on duty on this day. I'm on schedule on that day. That's fine doing stuff around here. Plenty of stuff around here need to be done. Church work. But we don't stay in here. We've got to leave here and do the work of the church. A lot of problems are going on in our communities. A lot of people are upset with the government because of programs that are being cut financially, and that is a problem. But even if all the programs that are being cut were fully funded, the programs of the government can't fix the problems of our society, because the problems of our society are not just financial issues. Our problems are some spiritual issues, and it's going to take the church to be the church. Now, here's the thing about being the church. By the word church, I do not refer to this building. It's a building. It's bricks, it's concrete, it's steel. All of this, they got them all over the country. Buildings look like this and others. This is not the church. The church is sitting in your seat. We are the church. Week before last, we had a vacation Bible school. The storm came through and took the electricity out Monday afternoon. Vacation Bible school starts Monday evening. About 200 folk on their way up here, no electricity. They coming, we got in here early, we said, okay, we do this, that, and the other. We set up outside, because it's still daylight. And we started outside, and somebody came up, oh, we decided, why are we out here tonight? I said, well, we don't have no electricity. They said, oh, we out of power? I said, no, we got power. got plenty of power. We never lost power. I said, now, right now, we don't have electricity, so we don't have any electric lights, but the church got plenty of power. And what this community needs is the church to be the church. Do you not know how many people you can help right from where you are? You don't have to change jobs, don't have to move across town, don't have to do anything different. Just open your eyes and see hurting humanity that's walking all around you. open your heart and see those that are broken and bruised. Open your soul and see those that are in need of a spiritual lift. And see, here's the good news about helping those that are in need. You don't have to be an expert at anything to help somebody. That's right. Now, if you want to go memorize 50 scriptures to be able to quote them, help yourself. That's not going to help them. That might impress them that you got a good memory and can quote all that stuff, but all you've got to do is show up as a willing vessel, and God, through the Holy Spirit, will tell you what to say, when to say, how to say, what to do, when to do, how to do, who to help, who to lift, who to give. God will speak and work through you.